Hi today from the beautiful town of Reine in Norway in the Lofoten Islands. You can see behind me the brown houses, and here the brown houses were the houses of poor people. The brown color was made from the dark red color was made from the stockfish liver, and it was the cheapest color they could get, the poor people. But today, of course, Norway is one of the very wealthiest European countries with extreme wealth, and we will talk today about the wealth of Norway, where does it come from and how is it managed. See you after a short break. So, where does the wealth of Norway come from? Generally, two sources. First one is oil, and the second one is decent and reasonable management of oil income. Before we start with the first one, you see the idyllic landscape here in Norway. This is in the Lofoten Islands, beautiful little houses and bays and so on, but this doesn't mean there is no economic power. There is huge economic power behind Norway, and it comes, as I mentioned, mainly from the oil industry. Oil was discovered here in the 80s in the Arctic Sea, one of the largest oil deposits in the world. And the government, the parliament, the lawmaker decided in the year 1990 to create so-called the government pension fund. And of course there's a pension system and so on in the Norway, but this government pension fund is an additional security, additional fund to provide for the future of the country, to provide the capital for the future development of the country, even after the oil resources are depleted. So what they do, they put into the fund all the income, the government income from the oil industry and connected industries like gas and of course processing of oil. And the income they have is of course from licenses that they give to international corporations as well as Norwegian ones, and from the taxes that they pay on their profits, right? So they put it into the fund, and it is a big stock of money. How much money it is? It is $1.6 trillion. $1.6 trillion. The economy of Norway, the GDP of Norway, is around $600 billion. So this is, let's say, 2.5 times the GDP of Norway. Huge amount of money. And how big amount of money it is, let me give you some numbers. So they have invested in 9,000 companies. By the way, they invest in equities, they invest in fixed income, meaning bonds, government bonds, and international government funds and corporate bonds. Then they invest in real estate, and they invest also in renewable energy infrastructure. And let's look at the equities. They have invested in 9,000 companies in over 70 countries. And it is 1.5% of all the public companies in the world on average. So they apparently didn't invest in every stock company in the world, but on average in 1.5%. So this is the single largest sovereign fund in the world. And if you look at the European stock market, they own 2.4% of all public companies, European public companies, let's say 2.4% of European economy. And this is also, they are the largest owner of European stock market, with 2.4% of all the market. So huge amount of money, and they spend it very wisely. They spend it with respect to the income. They just want to distribute that income as long as possible into the future, and don't flood the economy with that money immediately. Instead, save that money, multiply that money, that capital, and build sustainable future of the society or of the country. So the government is allowed only to spend the income from the investment, not the capital itself, not the 1.6 billion, only the income from the investment, because the investment brings also apparently income, right? So the rental income, since they own a lot of real estate, they get rental income, they get fixed income from the bonds, and of course they get dividends from the equities. So, and the government by constitution is allowed only to spend the profits from these investments, and on average it's like, let's say, 3% on that $1.6 trillion. On the other hand, if they invest locally, this is another fund that is used for infrastructure investment. If they invest locally in infrastructure projects, they do it also in a very smart way. So let's say they build a tunnel to develop more tourism in a region, or to make the life of inhabitants easier. So they put a fee on the tunnel to cross the tunnel for some time, until they regain the investment they made in that tunnel, until the tunnel is paid back, so to say. So they regain the money, they can invest it again in another infrastructure project, and so on. So it is done completely in a different way from all the let's say socialist European countries of European Union, where you have a well without at the bottom. You just put money without end in these projects, and you need to raise more and more taxes or get more and more debt. This is completely done completely differently here in Norway. So this is how this country is, let's say, financial and economic powerhouse of Europe, and will stay so for many, many years. That's it for today from Lofoten, from Norway. I hope you like this video. If yes, give me a thumb up. If not, thumb down. Subscribe if you haven't. I talk here a lot about economy, about money, about cryptocurrencies. I talk about how the best self-made billionaires, how the best entrepreneurs of our times think and act, how to do great impossible things in life and business. So if you like this video, you will certainly like my other videos. I invite you to watch them. That's it for today. Wish you a fantastic day. Let's do something extraordinary today.